Dear students, I am Dr. Perumal, Professor of Chemical Engineering from Erode Sengundar Engineering College, Perundurai. I welcome you all for the today class Stoichiometry Principles. So, if you are appointed as a production engineer in a chemical industry, you will be given a target to produce a certain quantity of product. For example, if you are working in a sodium hydroxide plant, so you will be asked to produce say 40 tons of sodium hydroxide per day or per shift. Then you need to calculate the quantity of raw material you should handle, how much raw material you have to procure. So in order to calculate this quantity of raw material, one should write the stoichiometry equation, so for which the stoichiometric principles is very essential. So stoichiometry principles plays a vital role in determining the quantity of raw material and product to be handled. The relationship between quantity of raw reactant and product in a chemical reaction is described by the stoichiometry equation. It says reactants gives products. This is called a process. A process is one in which a reactant is converted into product, for which we have to write the stoichiometric equation. The stoichiometric equation will give how much product can I make with a given raw material, how much reactant I need to produce a certain quantity of product, and how much of reactant I need to completely react with another reactant. So before going to the calculation, first you have to write the balanced equation. Now let us discuss with this stoichiometric principles with a real life situation. An engineer is given a task to produce 1 ton of carbon dioxide. Now he has to calculate how much carbon he has to burn and also the oxygen requirement for burning. The solution. First you have to write the equation. The equation says C plus O2 gives CO2. Here 1 mole of carbon reacts with 1 mole of oxygen gives 1 mole of carbon dioxide. Then convert the moles into kilogram, because in actual practice he cannot use the mole, he cannot go and count number of moles and fed into the reactor. So it has to be converted in terms of kilograms. To convert the mole into kilogram, so multiply the mole with its molecular weight. So the carbon molecular weight is 12 kilogram, oxygen molecular weight is 32 kilogram, carbon dioxide molecular weight is 44 kilogram. Therefore 12 kilogram of carbon reacts with 32 kilogram of oxygen, produces 44 kilogram of carbon dioxide. To produce 44 kilogram of carbon dioxide, 12 kg of carbon is required. Therefore, to produce 1 ton of carbon dioxide, how much quantity of carbon required? The carbon required is 12 into 1000 divided by 44, that is equal to 272.73 kilogram of carbon is required. So quantity of oxygen required is 727.27 kilogram. So C plus O2 gives CO2. Here 272.73 kilogram of carbon reacts with 727.27 kilogram of oxygen and produces 1000 kilogram, that is 1 ton of carbon dioxide. So 1000 kilogram input gives 1000 kilogram output. So this is called as material balance. So here input is equal to output. Then next, mass in equal to mass out, this is called material balance. So it includes, this says satisfy the law of conservation of mass. Mass neither created nor destroyed in a chemical reactions. So whenever you write a material balance, you have to bear in your mind the law of conservation of mass. At any instances, the mass in is equal to mass out. So mass neither can be created nor can be destroyed. It will be within the system only. So first you have to write the stoichiometric equation. Then you have to convert the moles into kilogram. To convert the moles into kilogram, you have to multiply the moles with its molecular weight. Then you have to balance the equation. You have to write the material balance. Then only you can calculate how much quantity of raw material you have to use to produce a certain given quantity of product. Here the C plus O2 gives CO2. 12 kg of oxygen reacts with 32 kg of carbon, 12 kg of carbon reacts with 32 kg of oxygen to produce 44 kg of carbon dioxide. Here the carbon is to oxygen ratio is 12 is to 32, that is 3 is to 8. So whatever it may be the route for formation of carbon dioxide, it may be formed by reaction of C plus O2 gives CO2, or CO plus half O2 gives CO2, like that any route. The carbon dioxide formed is 44 kilogram. Out of this 44 kilogram, 3%, so the carbon to oxygen ratio is 3 is to 8. So 272.73 is to 727.27, that is equal to 3 is to 8 is the carbon to oxygen ratio in carbon dioxide. So this is called as law of constant proportion. It states that a given chemical compound always contains its component elements in fixed ratio by mass and does not depend upon source and method of preparation. So this is called law of constant proportions. So determining amount of product, Cu plus AgNO3 gives CuNO plus Ag. The following steps should be used to write the material balance. First, to write and balance the equation. Mass to moles converts gram of copper to moles of copper. Convert moles of copper to moles of silver produced. Then convert moles of silver to grams of silver produced. The complete balanced equation would be Cu plus 2AgNO gives CuNO plus 2Ag. Then now let us discuss about what is stoichiometric coefficient. So consider the reaction H2 plus O2 gives 2H2 plus O2 gives 2H2O, that is 2 moles of hydrogen reacts with 1 mole of oxygen and produces 2 mole of hydrogen, this is water. Here the 2 for every 2 moles of hydrogen and 2 moles of water are produced. The coefficient of oxygen equal to 1, the coefficient of hydrogen equal to 2, the coefficient of water is also 2. So one of the most important pieces of information in chemical reaction is the mole ratio shown by the coefficients. Then stoichiometric ratio, it is nothing but ratio between the coefficients of the reactants and product in the balanced equation is called stoichiometric ratio. Then stoichiometric number. Stoichiometric number for reactant is negative. The stoichiometric number for product is positive because the reactant is disappearing. So it is always denoted with negative and the product is formed. So it is positive. The coefficient for C equal to 1, oxygen equal to 1 and CO equal to 1. Therefore, the stoichiometric number C equal to minus 1 because it is a reactant. The stoichiometric number for oxygen equal to minus 1. The stoichiometry number for carbon monoxide is plus 1. The stoichiometry number for carbon dioxide is plus 1. The stoichiometry number for the equation is minus 1 plus 1, that is equal to minus 1. So we have to add the stoichiometry coefficient and finally we will get the stoichiometry number for the equation. So when you are adding the stoichiometry coefficient, you have to put negative sign for reactants and positive sign for product. So another equation, CH4 plus 2O2 gives CO2 plus 2H2O. The coefficient for CH4 is 1, oxygen is 2, hydrogen equal to 2. The stoichiometry number for methane is minus 1, stoichiometry number for oxygen is minus 2, the stoichiometry number for carbon dioxide is plus 1, the stoichiometry number for water is equal to plus 2. Therefore, the stoichiometry number for the equation is minus 1, minus 2, plus 1, plus 2, that is equal to 0. So, likewise, we can write the stoichiometry number for 2H2 plus O2 equal to 2H2O. The coefficient for H2 equal to 2, O2 equal to 1, H2O equal to 2. The stoichiometry number for H2 equal to minus 2 reactant. The stoichiometry number oxygen is minus 1. Stoichiometry number for water equal to 2. Therefore, the stoichiometry number for the equation is minus 2 minus 1 plus 2, that is equal to minus 1. The another important factor to be considered while calculating the material balance and the stoichiometric calculation, conversion, yield and selectivity. So conversion is the how much the raw material, that is the reactant, is converted into product. In a chemical reaction, 90% of reactant A is converted into product, that is X equal to 90%. Yield means out of this 90%, the product reactant is converted, 90% of reactant is converted into product. Out of this 90% conversion, only 80% is converted to desired product B, and the remaining converted into undesired product C. So yield of product B is 72%. That is, a reactant A reacts to give B and C. So B is our desired product, C is an undesired product. The A, 90% of A is converted into B and C product. Out of this 90%, only 80% is desired product B and the remaining is undesired product C. Therefore, we have to calculate the yield for B. That means how much raw material or reactant has been converted into desired product, that is called yield. Then selectivity. The selectivity of the desired product B is 80% because only 80% is converted into desired product. Therefore, the selectivity is called as 80%. Then percent yield. It can be actual yield, theoretical yield and percent yield. The actual yield means the amount of product that is actually produced. Theoretical yield means the maximum amount of the products produced as per the stoichiometry. So in the stoichiometry says 100 moles of reactant is converted into 200 moles of product. This is the stoichiometry. As per stoichiometry, if you feed 100 moles of reactant, you will get 200 moles of product. But in actual practice, this 100 moles will not completely converted into product. Only 90% or 80% or 95% will be converted into product. So that is actual yield. But theoretical yield is the 100 has to be converted into 200. This is theoretical yield. Then percent yield means actual yield divided by theoretical yield into 100. That is the percentage of raw material converted into product against the theoretical yield. So percentage yield means actual yield divided by theoretical yield. Then now let us discuss what is the limiting reactant and excess reactant. So consider the reaction carbon plus oxygen gives carbon dioxide. So 12 gram carbon reacts with 32 gram oxygen to give 44 gram carbon dioxide. If we supply 42 gram of oxygen, the reaction will end if all the carbons are consumed. Here the carbon will determine the extent of the reaction. Hence carbon is called a limiting reactant, oxygen is called excess reactant. Only for converting 12 gram of carbon, only 32 gram of oxygen is enough. But we are supplying 44 gram, that is 12 gram, we are supplying excess amount. So the reaction will stop only 12 gram of carbons, all the 12 gram of carbons are consumed. After that, there won't be any reaction. Therefore, the extent of reaction is determined by the amount of carbon present in the reactor. So this 12 gram carbon, it won't be converted into 100%. Some 11 gram or 11.5 gram, 10.5 gram will be reacting. The remaining will go as a unreacted product. Therefore, all the 44 gram oxygen will not be utilized to convert the 12 gram of carbon. So some quantity of oxygen will be fed into the reactor as a excess reactant. Therefore, the rate determining this step is limiting reactant. The other reactant is called excess reactant. I hope all of you understood the concept of stoichiometric principle. What is stoichiometric equation? So what is the relationship between reactant and the product? Then how to write the material balance for calculating the quantity of material flow within the system or out of the system. So when writing a material balance, you have to bear in your mind the law of conservation of mass, and also we have to consider the law of constant proportion, then stoichiometric coefficient, stoichiometric ratio, stoichiometric number for a given equation, and what is the yield, conversion, selectivity, and how to calculate the percent yield, then what is limiting reactant and what is excess reactant. Thank you very much.